CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Guys, the chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, I could not be more excited. Can chickens fly? Season 73. This is the chicken season. We did make this tech tree and the decks, and we're going to go over everything that you guys need to know for the season. We got Stone and OP on the call. We're going to go over everything together. We're going to break it down for you. If you enjoy the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Obviously, we're going to be covering it each and every single day. If you got to re-up your instant trading, or you want to do a little dibble dabbling in the shop, appreciate it if you throw the code chicken in there. So quickly, just to get it out of the way, 3-week season, same chest rank values, nothing like crazy weird going on there. And check out this intro message, guys. So, Can Chickens Fly is the name of the season. Commander, there are chickens running amok at large scale. We need to capture them across all enemy ships. Remember, if it looks like a chicken, acts like a chicken, perhaps our best recourse is to run like chickens. Alright, so let's we got the 2ER deck loaded up here. Let's take a look at the tech tree, and I'm going to throw the initial thoughts out. Let's go to Stoneheart first, and yeah, just give us your initial thoughts on the chicken season and the very beginning, just the 2ER kind of meta here.
Hey chicken, so you made the tree. We know it's got to be the perfect one, right? No, 2ER meta is gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun. We have rifles, Zooks. Rifles are great for no instant training, and you know there's some splash defenses, but like there isn't any mines or mortars, so at least a 2ER meta to start doesn't look bad at all.
Doesn't look too fizzly, hopefully.
I wouldn't expect fizzles one bit.
Excellent. OP Destroy, my man, what do you think about the opening start on the chicken season?
Oh my gosh, this is my favorite upcoming season. It's like my best friend in the Content Creator Club who made a season. His first season ever. I'm so excited, bro. Like, I can't wait for the party. I know you're having one soon. But no, for the start of the looks of it, it looks great. I love fizzle seasons, to be honest, so I don't think it's going to be that. But I don't mind a fizzle season. I look at rifle Zookas. They're squishy troops. You got machine guns, and you got flamethrowers up front. You got boom mines, too. Shock bombs must be near. But I think it won't be a fizzle if you just stagger your rifles and you do your Zooks. The rifles will eat the machine guns, and the Zookas will outrange the flamethrowers. No fizzle season. Keep going. But
hopefully, yeah. So, a couple of main takeaways for the season, guys. What we tried to do when we put this together was we can see as we move forward here and we go from 2ER to 3ER, we've got shock bombs early, which me personally, I don't like seasons that put shocks after like 5 and 6ER. I feel like that's what causes a lot of the fizzle metas. I do want to avoid like super dirty defense fizzle metas. We'll get into, there's a lot of defense coming later on. But I feel like early shock bomb is really going to help with that. And also, I should say this right now, this season, no Seekers. And the reason for that is not for the guys like Stone that are in like the top 15, the top 20, the top 10, whatever. They can do whatever they want up there. That's cool. That's totally fine with me. The problem with Seekers, at least for me, and what I wanted to avoid this season, and I'm not saying that they should never be a thing. Like, obviously, it's fine to have them in some seasons, but it's nice to take them away because what I wanted to get rid of for this season was I wanted to not have just the random Seeker dudes in like rank 19, 20, 21 that get like a 330 on you, and it's like, well, you know, I just got screwed by matchmaking because it doesn't matter what I do. So you don't have to worry about that. There is a lot of different stats. We'll show you the full season stats right here before we get any further. That's not the right one. This one. So the full season stats, 100 building health, 100 DBD, 100 troop health, 150 troop damage, and 150 gunboat energy. So if you guys remember last season, there was a severe lack of gunboat energy, which I feel like really took away from some of the creativity of the attacks. The benefit of this is, yes, there's a strong defense. So defense is going to be good, of course, but there's enough offense to really encourage like creative attacks. Different troops are going to work well. Even though there's no Seekers, I feel like, or the hope is anyways, is to encourage people to be really creative on offense. I just want to go over a couple more points here of what the plan of the season was. The there's a great mix of stats, so multiple troop combos are viable. Was kind of the idea with the stat layout. Once we get to the end, which we'll get to in a minute, there's lots of protos and there's some really wacky, crazy new deck designs that are hopefully going to make a lot of different strong and creative decks. So yeah, that's the goal. That's what we're hoping for. As we move into 3R, we've got shock bombs, we've got Kavan, we've got heavies, we've got critter launchers behind some grenadier, potential key vacuum depending on how you want to play it. There's extra defense kind of hidden around corners. So OP, I'll throw it out to you first. In the 3R to 4R transition, it's kind of a long run. How are you feeling about this part?
Well, seeing that we have Kavan as our first hero here in 3ER, I could definitely see a Rifle Zuka Kavan take shape here. Being that we have Shock Bomb early as well, that's going to prohibit. I mean, if you fizzle, you're letting your dog or cat play. Let's be honest. But like this should meander out to be a nice, depending on 3-yard deck, which is that one right there. Look at that, cool, an L-shaped looking thing, which is cool. It's only one way, go left. But yeah, with the Shock Bomb, with Kavan, Rifle, Zuka, or even if you decide to get Heavy Zuka, but you get more Rifle than Heavies. So I don't know. I would say Rifle Zuka with a splash of Kavan. And Gucci.
Yeah, we got a couple of offensive notes to help you out, and then if you want to go the defensive route, there's a lot of that down this way. So Stone, what do you think? Same question to you, 3 to 4 ER. What are you thinking?
Well, I'll give some good news since you've paid me a good deal to not have Seekers in the tree. So I'll give you that.
That is true.
Hey, we have some strong offense at 3, right? You have Kavan, Shocks, and Critters. So 3 really strong offense, and not only that, you have troop health, where at this point you have no building damage. So because of these strong offense boosts, it's really going to be just, how fast you are clearing through the base. Maybe even critters to take down some ERs. We know now they're affected by troop health and troop damage. So that could even be another meta.
What do you think about warriors right away? Do you think there's going to be a little warrior window early on?
Some seasons there are warrior windows, but if you look at this point, you kind of have all 3 kinds of mines. Normal ones right there, boom mines at 2 ER, shock mines a little later. So I'd be a little skeptical, but since you already got rifles and Zooks, I think they're just a nice go-to.
Okay, fair enough. So yeah, I mean, the transition, I really wanted to set it up so it's like, if you want to go the offensive route, you can. If you want to play things a little bit more defensively, you can also, do that with the building health and grab all the mines, skip warriors, maybe pick up Kavan if you get a couple rank ups. But yeah. So heavies are also going to be a thing here, guys, as we move into 4ER going to 5. I didn't want it to be just like heavy rush kind of right out of the gate. I was hoping that, maybe some different troop combos would pop up first, just to, kind of change it up a little bit. The kind of goal, at least for me for this season, making it was kind of like a classic warship season. Like there's no negative nodes, there's no troop boosts, but make it like a really good kind of throwback classic season was kind of the idea. So just to quickly show what these are here. So there's a lot of defensive multi-nodes. But yeah, so as we move ahead, we look at 4ER. And we have boom cannons, we have bombardiers, so bombers aren't that far off from the very beginning, even though it is kind of a long route between 3 and 4 with the, what do we have, 4 rows before there, so I mean, it's not crazy long, but it's not super short either. So as we look at between 4 and 5, it's kind of a straightaway path, but Stone, why don't you take us through what you're thinking here between the 4 and 5ER? Did I show the 4ER deck? Yeah, there we go. So the deck is kind of becoming completed now.
Yeah, so one of the coolest things about this season, or the most unique things, is the deck layouts, especially 3, 4, and 5. So we've never seen a deck layout like that. And it's cool because you're kind of forced to, all right, we know buildings can maybe wrap around, so kind of what strategies are gonna emerge. Like, can you still Hail Mary when you have ERs all the way in the corner? And maybe you can with bombers because they have so much range, but because you have bombers and mechs at 4 ER, I think it really opens up the door for, no matter what, easy hits, because again, at this point, there's no rocket launchers, no shock launchers, so I think no matter what meta it's gonna be, it shouldn't be too difficult.
Okay, that sounds good. Um, so, OP, what do you think about the transition from 4 to 5? We're picking up some new troops here. The decks we just talked about are kind of crazy and wacky. What are you looking at as the important stuff around this area?
Yeah, as you showed that deck, yeah, it's starting to like go around. It's just a narrow side and a narrow top, and everyone has to go that way. So it just depends on how you lay out your defenses. That's gonna again, it's a race, right? It's always a base race. So you're gonna have to lay out your defenses to a place where you'll have just people moving slower, right? As far as offense, yeah, the bombardiers are always there, a safe bet to use. They have great range, like Stone said. You have artillery shells down below there to hit pockets of mines if you need that. In addition, you have critters already at this point, I'd imagine. Um, and I feel it's gonna be you got med kits too. That's an automatic unlock. So like yeah, there's no rockets or shock launchers, but you know there are mines. So if your squishy troops hit some of the mines, you could med kit them. So there's a lot of opportunity for your troops to not die, being that you have shock bomb as well. So I think bombardier will be a good ranging unit for rifle bomba could be something.
For sure, for sure. And another thing that we wanted to do was put good stuff ahead and put good stuff backwards. So you're not really ever in this tree, ideally, punished for going to the next engine room, because a lot of seasons are like that, right? Where it's like, you go from 6 ER and then it's like, oh, you make the jump to 7, and it's like 7 sucks like for a very long time until you get the whole tech tree, and like even then it's like a toss up. Like I don't like that kind of style, because you shouldn't really be punished for spending 165 keys or whatever. Like there should always be a bonus for that. But at the same time, we made some like kind of snake trails, like going back this way. So if you want to get that sky shield, all of that is good stuff. A level 3 sky shield at what do we at 4 ER technically. We just unlocked 5. But that's going to prevent you from potentially going rocket launchers, shock launchers, bullet rocket choppas, another heavy duty prototype down here. We'll take a look at the 5 ER deck. So again, kind of continuing along this big old snake trail where I think bombers are going to shine, but I think rocket choppers will absolutely also have their moment here with this large gap. Depending on if they can speed beat other guys that rush rocket choppers, or if the bomber players that have defense, we should have enough defense to really slow that down, and make that battle somewhat even depending on which route that you go, was kind of the idea. And if you want to get this, other sky shield over here, you got to go through bullets. So that's an expensive sky shield. That's a 75 key, detour if you want to go that way. So even though, yes, there's technically 2 sky shields here, like realistically, how many players are going to get both of them right away? Probably not a lot. So as we look forward, going from 5 ER to 6 ER, everyone will have rocket choppers. So it's not like they're totally out of the way, because we did want some troop variety going into this. So you got to pick them up to move forward. And another thing that we wanted to try to avoid was just like useless unlocks, like stuffing the middle with like grenadiers and things that aren't really helpful, but at the same time slow people down enough so it's not like everything good is all together, because we know that doesn't really necessarily work either. Anyways, I'm kind of rambling on, so Stone, I'll throw it out to you first. What do you think about the transition of 5 to 6?
And if you look at that 5 ER deck again, I mean, that's something else. We've never seen a deck layout that wraps all the way around. And it's cool because, I don't know, it's tough to tell if bombers or RCs might be better. Like, of course, bombers have to wrap around, but if you use RCs, it's not like you have, heavy choppers or Rudy, he's not in this season. Like, you don't have a lot to support RCs. It's just by themselves going on the right. So I like that we have both bombers and rocket choppers on the main path. So whatever works, I mean, you have the option for. So you're not really restricted on like getting some unlock that's a bunch of keys and, going like that.
Exactly, and there's an absolute massive amount of cannons this season, so that's going to make that interesting as well. OP, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. Like I'm looking at this and like Stone said, yeah, this deck is just like what? But yeah, no, it's very ripe for obviously the rocket chopper. But again, like Stone said, I'm piggybacking off because he's so good. Yeah, we have no heavy busts or anything to protect it, so you better darn be good with them if you're going to use them. And then bombardiers are the safe option. So what's going to be it, you know? And I like the fact that there's an open door. Like if you're forced to get these, which you are, right? The bombas and the rocket choppers, they'll be at your disposal, and you'll be able to, you know, one way or the other, you can't say that, wow, that was a waste, because you have to get it anyways. So I like the fact that you've added variety to this season, where a lot of these unlocks aren't useless.
Exactly, yeah. So as we'll see as we move forward here, there is a lot of prototypes. There's a lot of prototypes this season. So as we open the last engine room here, or sorry, was that 6?
6ER.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So as we open 6ER, this is where things start to get really defensive. So at this point, we had to add in everybody's favorite, the heavy choppers. So you'll be able to unlock those at this point. 6ER, and it comes into 2 decks. So the wraparound thing, which people might be getting tired of at this point, this changes up to, even though it's still got some interesting gaps to benefit rocket chopper players, and then some interesting gaps for maybe bombers to take advantage of with their range. Just to kind of change it up a little bit was kind of the idea going into the 6th engine. And obviously people are going to be rushing to get those heavy choppers sooner than later, because like you said, OP, it's going to get a little bit dirty towards the end of 5. And then that's why we've got some offensive stuff here. So we've got troop damage. We do have another prototype, but depending on if you went for bullet before, this will probably be your second prototype. Or if you skipped the other one, if you didn't take that down path and you rush for rocket choppers, this might be again, your second one. So the defense still kind of staying even depending on what your troop you're going with, because we're trying to balance it out. Now you can go down for, we got 3 boom cannons down here, which sounds OP, and it is, but you got to pay for them. So the gunboat energy there, which is great, but we got the Everspark, vacuum potentially, or at least that 42 key node to slow that down a little bit. So you can't just get your rank chest, run in, grab all this defense and gunboat energy, and move ahead. So you got to pay for it a little bit. So this is a shorter kind of transition, mostly just picking up offense and then the one prototype. So OP, what do you think about this deck and everything?
Yeah, the deck is really cool, man. I like the fact that on that P3 side there, the mini one on the right, I don't believe that gap's too wide. That doesn't connect. Your troops won't walk across that. So that's nice. But
not.
bombardiers will be able to shoot over it. So that could be interesting to see how maybe a split hit goes on over there with bombardiers, and then maybe bombers on the other ramp, or whatever. This is what's cool about the season, is there's such a variety of troops that you've already unlocked. Maybe there's some kind of mix meta, right, taking shape on each ramp. So I like this ramp, really cool, man. Props to you on that. And then back that we got the heavy choppers now. We have what else do we have over there? We have more troop damage. Yeah, you got Sparky and Brick. You gotta get Brick though, it looks like. But yeah, that sucks. But no, it's really nice that you have these the heavy choppers, because that'll assure players that have heavy choppers. The heavy chopper Kavan Bombardier players, you can't lose with that meta. I don't think, unless you don't have, I don't know, you're just not good, but but you can't lose with that. So that's a very safe option to have running here. You just can't go wrong with the heavy chopper, man.
Okay, very cool. Stone, what do you think?
Yeah, and we're not going to tell people about the secret meta, right? Bullet and all Cryoneers. We'll just keep that
Don't
secret for
say
now.
anything. Shh.
Come on, Stone.
But what I like about this tree is, even though at this point you have a lot more defense, like protos and multi-nodes, they're all on their own like dead ends. So if you do want to get all the defense, you really have to spend a lot of keys to get, this one here, that one there. So I don't think it's going to get as defensive like this early on, which gives a chance for people to, reach the end of the tree and focus on what they want.
Yeah, 100%. It's difficult to make a really good tech tree, but we wanted to give people multiple like viable routes. So it's not just like, oh, get to this. This is better than everything, which it may end up being. I mean, it's hard to say, but anyways. So let's take a look at the 70-yard deck as we move into our last node. So 70R, one ramp, very wide open. Pretty much a full deck, getting away from the wraparounds, getting away from some of the gaps. And then if we look at what we have here to unlock, we've got another potential sky shield. So if you guys have been following along counting the sky shields, I'll show you in a second how many that we potentially have. We've got the mine multi-node, which everybody loves, and another level 3 prototype, and then we finish out with building health, but not only building health, some troop damage to also combat all of these prototypes, all of this defense. So look at the amount of prototypes we potentially have, guys. So we've got 4 sky shields, we've got microwaver, and I think there is a shock blaster. Yeah, shock blaster in front. So potentially 6 prototypes, which is pretty. There might even be more than that. But I think it's 6. I think I unlocked everything. So yeah, a lot of prototypes, a lot of defense, but a wide open deck. You know, some strong defensive stats, but also a ton of offense. We've got 150. I'll pull up the stats here so you can see. We got 150 troop damage and 100 troop health and 150 GB to combat all of this, and to hopefully, from what we tested, the last like the final meta, like with everything unlocked, the attacks were typically, you know, like 210 to like 230, somewhere in there. So trying to not make the attacks like egregiously slow or like ridiculously fast, trying to find that nice middle ground where there's a good balance to everything. So Stone, I'll throw it out to you first. What do you think about the end of the season with the 70R finish and the last deck, and then just kind of how everything flows together?
I know some people have their thoughts on like having troop damage and building health at 7. Personally, I like it. It means that, you know, even if some seasons a 7 deck sucks, like troop damage, building health, that, you know, adds up. So clearly it's a benefit to go to 7. And well, everyone does love the mine node, 34 keys. But you know, it's there in some seasons. It's like all the throwback seasons had it.
Well,
right?
it's really there just to like slow things down too. So it's not like you get to 7, you get the building health, and like I know it sucks. I know it's an annoying node, but like you, from what I understand and like how I feel, is like you kind of need to slow that down a little bit, because it can't just be like whoever gets to 7 and gets a couple rank ups, boom, they're gonna get the next, like, you know, they're gonna get right to rank 25 just because they went to 7 early. Like there's got to be those little nodes in there just to slow things down a little bit, not to the point where everybody's together, but it's just not quite as, you know, a crazy advantage. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no, I think it's good that it's separated because already the 7 ER deck, Sky Shield, building damage, that's strong. And then there's like a little bit of a break, you know, breathing room, get some mines, get a shock blaster, and then boom again, building health, troop damage. So the end meta, I think again, is tough to decide if it's going to be RCs or bombers. But again, since we have both of them on the main path, good news is we don't have to worry. If it's RCs, we use RCs. If it's bombers, we use bombers. And we just have all the options available. And I think overall, it's just that's how it ends up, bombers or RCs.
Okay, fair enough take. Mr. Destroy, what are your final thoughts on the season and the last deck and everything?
Yeah, dude, the deck's wide open. It's a definitely a big deck, so you can really make some cool flanking rockets around those nooks there, those little donut holes you have all over the place on the sides. You could make some flanky stuff under. You have 4 sky shields. Like you could have 4 sky shields. That's insane. You could, and I saw that you had in one of your nodes, you had a grappler or something.
Yes,
You
at the end, I think.
Yeah, that could be a hidden grappler with all your critter launchers underneath, so you couldn't shock it, and you'll have critters all over the place. So you could make that a possibility defensive wise. The mine node, why the heck did you put that in there? I'm kidding. But no, like it is what it is. I mean, you know, pick your poison and leave the comments. Are you guys using shock mines? Are you picking shock mines? But no, I like the fact that it is a slow transition to that building health and troop damage, because you're right. A lot of times 70R rewards players right out of the gate, as opposed to letting them kind of sit in their misery until they get that BH and troop damage. So, well thought out tree, man. And yeah, I think the final meta, like Stones would say, Bombardier, Rocket Choppa. Is it both, one or the other? But since we both have them unlocked, yes, you'll have no problem. Or is it a mixed? Is it a mixed bag? We'll have to wait and see. But all in all, man, good tree, bud, and decks.
Okay, well, thank you guys for coming on and just giving some thoughts and insights, and obviously helping with some of the pre-planning for this. It's been a lot, but I'm hoping, guys, that we can make a really fun season. That was the goal here, and I hope that just everybody enjoys it. And can chickens fly? I don't know. We gotta wait and see. So make sure you subscribe to Stoneheart, subscribe to Opdestroy, and subscribe right here if you want to stay tuned. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. That's it. You're not going to say bye?
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.